Hope you've been watching, because if you weren't, you missed a lot. We've just talked to Mitt Romney and Minnesota Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann back-to-back on why they should be the Republican nominee for president. Joining us with a reaction is our political panel. Dave Gardner, the president, National Black Pro-Life Union. Good morning. James, call him Jim Rickards, the senior managing director, Tangent Capital Partners, and author of Currency Wars, the Making of the Next Global Crisis. Can hardly wait for that one. And Julie Rudzinski, former communications director for Senator John Corzine and a Fox News contributor as well. Good morning to all of you.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
All right, Dave, let's start with you. What'd you think of Mitt Romney there?
Well, you know, Mitt is Mitt. I don't know. I'm not very. I don't really find him very believable.
Really?
Yeah.
What part?
Well, I think that maybe it comes from everything that I've heard about him over the years. He looks good, but I just don't believe a lot of what he says.
Is there a particular issue?
Not really. I think it's just around the board, all over the board.
All right. Jim, because a lot of people like Mitt Romney because he's been in the private sector, been in the public sector as well, and created a bunch of jobs.
Well, I think this year is different because typically campaigns at this stage are about organization and money, and that's important. But this year the people are looking for ideas. I think one of the reasons Newt Gingrich broke out of the pack, and I understand he's faded a little bit, but it was because he was the candidate of ideas. I think we're also seeing kind of, version 2R of Rick Perry. He's putting a more robust platform forward. So it's just with Romney, it's just more Romney. No real new ideas. Playing it too cautious.
All right, Julie.
I agree with everything that was just said. I mean, Romney's stuck at about 25%. There's nothing that he can do to get out of that 25%.
But he says, that's not a ceiling, that's the floor, which is accurate.
It's been the floor. It's actually not been the floor or the ceiling. It's been the status quo for so long. And people have flirted with, they flirted with Michelle Bachmann. They flirted with Herman Cain. They flirted with Newt Gingrich. They flirted with Rick Perry. Poor Rick Santorum, the only guy that kind of was left at the altar. Everybody else was flirted with. Nobody's flirting with Mitt Romney. That's a problem for him.
Well, there has been a lot of flirting, and we had Michelle Bachmann on just a little while ago. Here she is talking about how she's the best one to go toe-to-toe with Barack Obama.
I think that of all of the candidates running in the race, I will present the most formidable challenge to Barack Obama. That's really what this is about. Who is the best candidate that we can field to take on Obama and defeat him? And I think clearly after the last debate on Fox, there's no question I'll be the one to go toe-to-toe with Barack Obama, and I can win.
Can she win, Jim?
It's possible. She's very bright. The problem thing with Romney, Paul Simon said one man's ceiling is another man's floor. He might be stuck there. I'm more of a financial analyst than a political analyst, so I'm looking at the candidates in terms of hard money versus soft money, hard dollar versus soft
She needs more money.
Well, she may need more money, but I'd like to know where she stands on the U.S. dollar. We see kind of Romney and Obama are the soft dollar candidates. Perry and Paul are the hard dollar candidates. We'd like to know where Bachmann and Gingrich stand on that.
All right. I've asked the panel a couple of good questions. I'd like to hear from you as well. Go ahead and email us, friends@foxnews.com, about how you thought those interviews with Mitt Romney and Michelle Bachmann went. Meanwhile, the panel sticks around because call it a Charlie Brown Congress. Nancy Pelosi says the Republicans are playing peanuts with your paycheck. How does that work? The panel sticks around because Pelosi compared herself to peanuts. And then the White House stood behind Joe Biden when he said the Taliban wasn't America's enemy. But what would Bill Clinton say? Former president enters the no-spin zone. It's Bill versus Bill.
Everyone believes in keeping their promises once a year. But we believe in helping people take steps to keep them every single day. That's why every day we help people across the country get into their first homes, prepare for a comfortable retirement, and protect the people and things that matter most. At Genworth, we believe every day is the right day to take a step toward tomorrow.
That leaky roof will cost you thousands in repairs, and gushing gutters can destroy your home's foundation. Phil Swift here for Flex Seal, the easy way to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. Flex Seal fills cracks and holes, stopping the toughest leaks, remaining completely flexible. Flex Seal is actually liquid rubber in a can. To show you the amazing sealing power of Flex Seal, we replaced the bottom of this boat with a screen door and covered it in Flex Seal. After a day on the water, the inside is completely dry. Don't call a repairman. That'll cost you thousands of dollars. You can get Flex Seal right now for just $19.99. Flex Seal is perfect for roof repair and basement leaks and so much more. But wait, we're going to double your order. That's twice the sealing power for only $19.99. Just pay processing. Call now.
To order Flex Seal, call 1-800-727-1047 or order online at getflexseal.com.
Justified, the all-new season, premieres Tuesday, January 17th, only on FX.
What do I do with brand new, discontinued, and overstocked items? Can't eat them, even with ketchup. So I drop them into my online e-pit at a fraction of my regular price. Warning! Quantities are limited. When they're gone, they're gone.
All-new Range Rover Evoque, Motor Trend's 2012 Sport Utility of the Year.
When you jump into my e-pit at mybobs.com, you'll be blown away by the untouchable values and come back often because it's always changing. Brand new, factory wrap furniture that I've discontinued or overstocked at a fraction of my regular price.
Welcome back, everyone. A couple quick headlines for you now. New reports the son and presumed heir of former Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi is alive and well this morning. An American human rights group says Sheikh al-Islam el-Gaddafi is being held by Libyan rebels outside Tripoli. They say he's being denied legal counsel as he awaits trial on charges of crimes against humanity. And Eric Holder's time in the hot seat not over yet. Congressman Darrell Issa says he has asked the Attorney General to testify before Congress again over the Fast and Furious debacle. The date requested, January 24th. Holder has yet to confirm. Now back to the panel.
All right, thanks, Gretch. We all remember this classic scene from the Peanuts Charlie Brown cartoon series. Remember this? How many times did you see this happen?
This year, I'm really going to kick that football.
So how does that relate to what's going on with the payroll tax battle in Washington? Well, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi thinks it does relate. She is calling Speaker John Boehner's attempt to convene a House-Senate conference on year-long tax cut an extension of a trick. She says Boehner is no Lucy and her Democrats are not Charlie Brown. We continue the conversation with our political panel. Now, Jim, what's your first question for Nancy Pelosi?
Well, she's worried about people pulling tricks on her. I want to know if she's pulling a trick on the American people. I'd like to see the confirmations in her brokerage account. Is she trading ahead of this payroll tax debate?
Whoa.
I would no, seriously. It's happened in the past. I'd like to know if they're trading on it because it is market moving information.
Sure, Dale. You know what they have done. First of all, the House passed their version for a year, and then the Senate said, we don't like that. They passed it 2 months.
2 months.
So then the House came back and said, okay, let's confer, which is the way Congress works. And now Nancy Pelosi says, nope, not going to do it before the end of the year.
But that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to come together, confer before the holiday. You know, what really gets me is that they keep saying that they talk about the American people and about the 2 months and about they should know, have some idea of what's going to happen after Christmas. Let's make it a year. What does 2 months do? That's still living month to month.
Right.
So just make it a year. If you really care, make it a year.
You know, and if they were smart, if they were going to do short term, I've talked to some accountants who say you can't base tax calculations on 2 months. You got to make it 3 months. You got to make it a quarter.
Well, you know, Obama wanted to make it a year, but the Tea Party guys said no way. And if you look at who Boehner is appointed to the conference, none of these guys, for the most part, supports an extension of the payroll tax cut.
Where's the
we were
president
talking
been on this?
The president's in Washington working his butt off trying to get this done. These guys are the ones who fled what the Senate fled Washington.
Julie, if the president was doing his job, he probably would have listened to the super committee. He probably would have listened to Simpson Bowles, which he said, come on, come up with a way to fix this.
The president did his job. The Senate did its job. My God, only seven Republicans didn't support this. Almost 100%, almost 100% of the Senate supports this. Bipartisan movement. The president says, great. I'm sure Boehner and McConnell thought they had a deal. The Tea Party comes out and says, no way. All of a sudden, Boehner looks like the weakest speaker, I think, in memory. And and everything gets thrown out the window. And these poor people on January 1st have to deal with the average $1,000 tax hike.
Dave, has the president been doing his job?
The president is campaigning. Okay, let's be real here. That's what he's all about these days. He's campaigning. He's not where he should be. And you know what? We have to think also about Democrats. When they had a controlled Congress, they repeatedly let joblessness expire for our nation's unemployed. They missed important deadlines. And I think that we have to understand that 2 months will get us to where? Yeah. They've done this before in 2010 4 times.
Excuse me, the Republicans.
It's right to St. Valentine's Day.
The Republicans did not want to extend unemployment benefits, took it to brinksmanship, and almost shut the government down repeatedly.
Final soundbite? You've got uncertainty either way. If they don't pass it, there's uncertainty. If you pass it, there's uncertainty about what happens in 2 months. The markets hate uncertainty. So from a market perspective, it's all bad.
All right. And on that happy note, we conclude the panel. All right. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all of you. Jim and Day and Julie Roginski. Thank you. All right. Meanwhile, straight ahead, world-renowned actor and singer Robert Davi is here to tell us how he's helping in a big way this holiday season and how you can too. Hi there, Robert. And last year, your tax dollars paid for a